Welcome to the wild heart of the African savanna, where lions reign as nature's king. Dive into a gripping day in the life of a 400-kilogram male lion, fighting hunger, rivals, and the blazing sun to protect his pride. This isn't a fairy tale, it's a raw, epic tale of survival. Alright, buckle up because you're not you anymore. Ditch the coffee mug, the Wi-Fi, and that cozy couch. You're a lion, the king of the African savanna. And it's 2025. Out here in a sun-blasted stretch of grass and thorns that makes your old life look like a five-star resort. Forget the Lion King's glossy Simba vibes or those Instagram reels of lions napping like oversized house cats. Being a lion is a sweaty, bloody claw and fang grind, where every day's a gamble with hunger, rivals, and the odd poacher aiming for your hide. You're a 400-kilogram beast with a mane that's part crown, part dust magnet, and you're about to live a day that'll make you kiss your smartphone goodbye. Drop a comment wherever you're chilling, New York, Tokyo, or your mom's basement, and let's stalk the savannah together. Ready? Well, here comes the roar. Your eyes snap open, and the first thing that hits you is the heat. Not the, oh, let's crank the AK kind of heat, but a bone-deep savannah-baked scorch that's already creeping up, even though the sun's barely a pink smear on the horizon. You're sprawled on a patch of cracked dirt under a gnarled acacia tree, your so-called bed for the night. No memory foam mattress, no Egyptian cotton sheets, just hard earth that's half dust, half gravel, jabbing your ribs like a cheap motel cot. Your fur's matted with yesterday's sweat, bits of grass, and probably a few ticks throwing a rave on your flank. You shift, and something bites your hip. Fleas, ticks, who cares? They're your roommates now, and they don't pay rent. The air's thick, like breathing through a gym sock left in a microwave, heavy with the musk of your pride. 3 lionesses, 5 cubs, and your grumpy sister-in-law, who's been giving you the stink eye since you took over the gang 2 years ago. Somewhere nearby, a vulture screeches, your personal alarm clock, and it's not exactly the soothing chime of your old phone's sunrise set. More like a banshee yelling, "Get up, your majesty," or "Star." You haul yourself up, all 400 kilos, groaning as your joints creak from yesterday's tussle, with a buffalo that nearly gored you. Your mane, a shaggy halo that screams, "I'm the boss," is a mess. Part rockstar hair, part bird's nest, with twigs and dust woven in like nature's worst stylist. You shake it out, sending a cloud of dirt flying, and the cubs nearby sneeze in unison, sounding like tiny leaf blowers. They're curled up against their mom, your lead lioness, who's snoring like a chainsaw with a bad muffler. The other lionesses are sprawled out, one twitching like she's dreaming of chasing zebras, while the sister-in-law glares at you farted in her yoga class. Lions sleep up to 20 hours a day, catching easies and quick naps whenever they can, because out here, energy is more precious than a PowerPoint slide deck on a deadline. Your pride's tight-knit, a crew of 14, with the females as the real hunters and you as the muscle and figurehead. Think of it like being a medieval king. You've got the crown, but the ladies run the kingdom. The savannah stretches out around you, a sea of yellow grass waving under a breeze that smells like baked dirt and distant rain. Acacia trees stand like lonely sentinels, and the horizon's hazy with heat even at dawn. It's beautiful in a brutal way, but don't get all poetic. This place is a death trap. Somewhere out there, hyenas are cackling like they've just heard the world's worst stand-up comic, and a warthog's rooting around, dropping a fart that could clear a room if you had rooms. Flies are already buzzing around your face like paparazzi, who didn't get the memo, and the stench of a half-eaten antelope from 2 days ago lingers nearby, where vultures are holding a breakfast buffet. Your stomach growls, a deep rumble that could double as a subwoofer, reminding you that you haven't eaten since that measly gazelle the day before yesterday. Lions need to scarf down about 15 kilos of meat a day, 5 to 7% of their body weight, unless they want to start looking like a skinny influencer on a juice cleanse. No fridge, no Uber Eats, just you, your pride, and a whole lot of hoof things that run faster than you do. You stretch, your 10-centimeter claws flexing like switchblades, and take a few heavy steps, your paws sinking into the dirt. Each paw's a dinner plate, built to carry your bulk across miles of turf. But right now they're sore, and a stray thorn's lodged in one, stinging like a paper cut from hell. You've got to patrol your territory today. A chunk of savanna stretching up to 100 square miles. Because if you don't, some punk male lion or a pack of hyenas will waltz in and steal your lunch or your whole pride. You start walking, spraying a bush with a jet of urine that smells like a brewery gone bad, marking your turf like a graffiti artist, tagging a subway car. Your roar comes next, a gut-shaking bellow that hits 114 decibels and carries 5 miles, telling every wannabe king to back off. It's not just noise. It's a warning that says, this is my block, and I've got claws to back it up. Studies from 2018 show your mane's not just for show either. It signals health and scares off rivals, like a biker's leather jacket in a bar. The sun's climbing now, turning the savanna into a skillet, and your dark mane's soaking up heat like a solar panel. You're panting already because lions don't sweat much. They pant to cool off, which is about as effective as fanning yourself with a paper towel in a sauna. The grass rustles and you freeze, ears twitching like satellite dishes. Could be a snake, a leopard, or just the wind. But out here, assuming it's just anything, can get you killed. Poachers are a real threat too. About 200 lions get taken out each year by illegal hunters. Per conservation reports, and human-wildlife conflicts only getting worse as farms creep into your turf. You keep moving, passing a termite mound that looks like a lumpy sculpture, and spot a herd of impala in the distance, their tails flicking like they know you're watching. Your stomach's yelling, go get 'em! But hunting's a team sport, and the lionesses are still lazing back at the tree, probably gossiping about whose turn it is to babysit the cubs. Speaking of the cubs, they're a handful. 5 little terrors who think your tail's a chew toy and your back's a trampoline. They're cute, sure, with big eyes and fluffy fur. But 50% of cubs don't make it to age 2, thanks to starvation, rival males, or hyenas with a taste for lion nuggets. You growl low, a rumble that says, settle down, and one cub yips back, like he's ready to square up. Kids, right? Your lead lioness, the one who's been with you since you ousted the last king, gives you a look that's half. I got this in half. You're on thin ice, buddy. Prides are matriarchal, and while you're the muscle, she's the CEO, organizing hunts and keeping the cubs alive. You've been ruling this pride for 2 years, but male lions only hold power for 2 to 4 years before some younger, meaner guy boots you out, or kills your cubs to bring the females back into heat. It's brutal, but that's the Savanna's HR policy. You're halfway through your patrol when you smell trouble. Hyenas, those giggling scavengers who'd steal your lunch and your dignity if they could. Their scent's sharp, like wet dog mixed with bad decisions, and you spot their tracks in the dirt, fresh from last night. Hyenas nab about 10% of lion kills, and a big pack can even take you down if you're not careful. You roar again, louder this time, and the cubs back at the tree probably jump a foot. Your sister-in-law's probably rolling her eyes like, we get it, you're loud. Patrolling's like being a mall cop in a war zone. Every bush could hide a sniper, and the shoplifters have fangs. You mark another tree. Your urine spray, as much a keep-out sign as a middle finger to any rival dumb enough to cross you. By now, the sun's a full-on flamethrower, and you're sweating through your fur, your tongue lolling like a soggy rag. You need water, but the nearest river's a mile away, and it's home to crocodiles who'd love to make you lunch. Lions can go days without drinking, relying on moisture from prey. But right now, you trade your mane for a cold Gatorade. You head back toward the pride, your paws kicking up dust clouds, and spot the lionesses stirring. They're planning a hunt, and you're invited. Not as the star, but as the heavy hitter for bigger prey, like a buffalo that could feed the whole crew. Hunting's no solo gig. It's a team effort, with the females stalking like ninjas, and you delivering the knockout blow. Only 1 in 4 hunts works out, though, so you're already bracing for disappointment, like waiting for a pizza delivery that never shows. You reach the acacia tree, and the cubs swarm you, nipping your legs like tiny piranhas. One tugs your tail, and you swat him gently, sending him tumbling with a squeak. The lead lioness gives you a nod, her amber eyes sharp, and you know it's go time. The pride's hungry, and those impala you saw earlier are looking like breakfast. You crouch in the tall grass, your belly scraping the dirt, and the lionesses fan out, silent as ghosts. Your heart's pounding, your claws flexing, and the savanna's holding its breath. This is your life, your kingdom, and every second's a fight to keep it. So, you ready to hunt? Or are you going to lie there dreaming of air conditioning? The grass tickles your belly as you crouch, every muscle coiled like a spring ready to snap. You're a lion, king of the sun-scorched savanna, and right now you're starving. Your pride's fanned out around you. 3 lionesses slinking through the tall, dry stalks, like they're auditioning for a stealth movie. their amber eyes locked on a herd of zebras grazing a few hundred meters away. The cubs are back at the acacia tree, probably wrestling or chewing each other's ears, while you're here, sweating through your mane, ready to play clean-up hitter in this high-stakes game of survival. The lead lioness, your main girl, flicks her tail, a signal sharper than a coach whistle. It's go time, and if this hunt flops, you're all eating dust for dinner. No pressure, right? You inch forward, your paws silent despite your 400-kilogram bulk. Each step a masterclass in not stepping on a twig and blowing the whole operation. The zebras are oblivious, munching grass like they're at an all-you-can-eat buffet, their black and white stripes blurring into a dizzying optical illusion. Lions like you can sprint up to 60 kilometers an hour, but only for short bursts. Think of it like flooring a sports car with a half-empty gas tank. You tire fast, so this has to be perfect. The lionesses are the real pros here, built leaner and faster, while you're the tank, designed to tackle bigger prey or fend off thieves. Sexual dimorphism, scientists call it, but out here, it just means the ladies do the finesse work, and you bring the brute force. Your heart's hammering, dust clogging your nose, and the sun's beating down like it's got a personal grudge. You're panting, your tongue a dry sponge, but there's no pausing for a water break. Miss this, and it's another day of your stomach singing the blues. The lead lioness creeps closer, her belly kissing the dirt, and you follow her lead, your mane catching every stray blade of grass like a Velcro suit. The zebras are closer now, maybe 50 meters, and you can smell their musky sweat, hear the crunch of their teeth on grass. One lifts its head, ears twitching like it's picking up bad vibes, and you freeze, your breath stuck in your throat. If it bolts, the whole herd's gone, and you're back to square one. Lions only nail 1 in 4 hunts, and you've already struck out twice this week. The Savanna's no grocery store. There's no backup plan if the shelves are empty. You glance at the lioness, her eyes narrow as lasers, and she gives a low grunt, barely audible, like she's whispering, "Hold tight, big guy." You do, every muscle screaming, your claws itching to dig into something other than dirt. Then it happens. The lioness springs, a blur of gold against the grass, and the zebras explode into chaos, hooves thundering like a rock concert gone wild. You're off too, legs pumping, the world a streak of yellow and dust. Your lungs burn, your paws slam the earth, and you're closing in on a zebra that's zigzagging like it's dodging bullets in a video game. The lionesses are herding it toward you, cutting off its escape like pros in a heist flick. You lunge, claws out, and slam into its flank, all 400 kilos of you hitting like a freight train. The zebra stumbles, bleeding, and you clamp your jaws on its neck, your 3-inch canines sinking deep. It's over in seconds, but you're gasping, your sides heaving like you just ran the Olympics with a hangover. The lionesses pile on, securing the kill, and for a moment you're all just a tangle of fur, blood, and victory. You drag the zebra to a shady spot, your jaws aching, blood matting your mane like bad hair gel. The cubs come bounding over, yipping like they've won the lottery, but you're not sharing yet. Males eat first, a pride rule older than your great-grandpa's whiskers, because you need the strength to keep this crew safe. You tear into the carcass, ripping through hide, tougher than a biker's jacket, the meat warm and gamey, studded with sinew that sticks in your teeth. Lions can gorge up to 40 kilos in one sitting. Think of scarfing down 80 burgers, and you're not holding back. The liver's your favorite, soft and rich, but you crunch bones too, your jaws strong enough to crack femurs like pretzels. Fun fact, you're eating parasites along with it. Tapeworms love lion guts, but out here, a little extra protein's the least of your worries. The lionesses wait their turn, growling softly, while the cubs nip at your tail, whining for scraps. You toss a glare that says, "Back off, kids," and keep chowing, blood dripping down your chin like you're the world's messiest barbecue guest. Hyenas are already circling, their whoops and giggles like a frat party gone wrong, eyeing your kill like it's their personal pizza. They steal 10% of lion kills, and a big pack can drive you off if you're not careful. You roar, a gut-deep bellow that shakes the grass, and they skitter back. But they're not gone, just waiting for you to blink. Vultures are overhead too, circling like drones, and a jackal's darting in, hoping to snag a morsel. It's a buffet, but the guests are armed, and you're the bouncer. You swat a cub away from the carcass, sending him tumbling with a squeak, and the lead lioness finally digs in, her teeth flashing. The pride's hierarchy is ironclad. Males, then females, then cubs. But it's not just greed. You burn 7,000 calories a day patrolling and fighting. And without this fuel, you're no good to anyone. You're stuffed now, your belly bulging like you swallowed a beach ball, and the sun's high, turning the savanna into a solar oven. It's pushing 40 degrees Celsius, and you're panting like a dog in a parked car. Because lions don't sweat much, they rely on panting to cool off, which is about as useful as a hand fan in a wildfire. The pride lumbers back to the acacia tree, and you flop down in a patch of shade. The ground, hot enough to cook a steak. The cubs are play fighting, rolling in the dust like tiny wrestlers, while the lionesses sprawl out, their bellies full. You're all conserving energy, because lions rest 16 to 20 hours a day to save juice for the next hunt or brawl. Climate change is making these heat waves worse, cutting hunt success by 15% per 2023 studies. And you can feel it. Every breath's a chore, and the shade's thinner than a cheap umbrella. You close your eyes, but sleep's not deep. A fly lands on your nose, and you twitch it off, growling. The cubs are climbing over you now, one gnawing your ear like it's a chew toy. You swat him away, and he tumbles into his sister, sparking a mini brawl that's half adorable, half annoying. You're king, sure, but right now, you're also a jungle gym. The lead lioness is grooming herself, licking her fur with a tongue like sandpaper. Those barbs are designed to scrape meat off bones, and they double as a comb. You give your own flank a few licks, tasting dust and blood, but it's a losing battle. Your mane's a magnet for dirt, and ticks are throwing a festival under your fur. Lions groom to bond and keep parasites at bay, but you're still a walking Airbnb for fleas, and diseases like canine distemper, spread by stray dogs, can wipe out a whole pride. A bath? Maybe if you cross a river, but that's a date with crocodiles you'd rather skip. The savanna's quiet now, save for the hum of insects and a distant elephant trumpeting like it's arguing with its in-laws. You're dozing, but your ears are on high alert, catching every rustle, every bird call. Out here, napping's a gamble. Leopards, hyenas, or even a stray human could ruin your day. You're the king, but the crown's heavy, and the savanna's always waiting to knock it off your head. So you lie there, half dreaming of endless zebras, half ready to leap up and fight. This is your life, and it's only noon. The savanna's a furnace, the kind of heat that makes you wonder if you accidentally wandered into a blast oven instead of a grassland. You're sprawled under the acacia tree, a 400-kilogram lion king, who's just stuffed yourself with zebra like it's Thanksgiving. But there's no kicking back with a cold one and a football game. Your pride scattered around you, the lionesses dozing in the shade, their bellies round from the morning's kill, while the cubs are wrestling in the dust, yipping like they've had too much sugar, if sugar was a thing out here. You're panting, your tongue lolling out like a soggy dishcloth, because lions don't sweat like humans. They pant to cool off, which is about as effective as blowing on a campfire to put it out. The air's thick with the buzz of flies, the distant trumpeting of an elephant, and the faint whiff of that zebra carcass you left behind, now probably a 5-star buffet for every vulture in a 10-mile radius. You're exhausted, your mane's a sweaty mop, and all you want is a nap. But the savanna doesn't do sick days, and you've got a kingdom to run. You shift trying to get comfy, but the ground's hard as concrete, and the stray thorns poking your hip like a passive-aggressive acupuncturist. Your fur's a mess, blood from the zebras dried into crusty patches. Dust is caked on like you rolled in flour, and there's a tick the size of a grape having a party under your shoulder. Time to clean up, but don't go dreaming of hot showers, lavender body wash, or even a quick dip in a pool. You're a lion, and your grooming routine's about as glamorous as scrubbing a toilet with a toothbrush. You start licking your flank, your tongue scraping over your fur like sandpaper, because that's exactly what it is, covered in barbs designed to strip meat off bones. Each lick pulls up dirt, blood, and a few stray hairs, tasting like a smoothie made of dust and regret. It's not just about looking pretty. Grooming keeps parasites at bay, and tightens the pride's bond like a family haircut day. Except instead of clippers, you're using a tongue that could double as a cheese grater. You work your way up to your chest, but your mane's a lost cause. A shaggy 10-kilogram disaster that traps heat, dirt, and half the savanna's insect population. It's your crown, sure, signaling to rivals that you're healthy and ready to throw down. But right now, It feels like wearing a wool sweater in the sun. You give it a few half-hearted licks dislodging a twig, and what might be a dead beetle, then give up. Lions don't do deep cleans unless they're crossing a river, and the nearest one's a mile away, guarded by crocodiles who'd love to turn you into sushi. Instead, you roll in the dust, the Savanna's version of dry shampoo, sending up a cloud that makes the cubs sneeze. It helps keep ticks and fleas at bay, but let's be real, you're still a walking petri dish. Parasites are just part of the deal, and diseases like canine distemper picked up from stray dogs can wipe out entire prides. In 1994, a third of the Serengeti's lions got hit by a distemper outbreak, and you're not exactly rocking a Veets phone number on speed dial. One of the lionesses, the youngest of the trio, pads over and starts grooming your back, her tongue rasping like a wire brush. It's less spa treatment, more mutual survival pact, she's saying. I got you, while also checking you for ticks like a mom inspecting her kid's head for life. You return the favor, licking her shoulder, and for a moment, it's peaceful. A rare break from the Savanna's endless hustle. Grooming's a big deal in prides. It's how you keep the peace, like humans swapping small talk over coffee, except your coffee's a face full of fur and the occasional flea. You're all in this together, a family of 14, with the females as the glue and you as the muscle. But don't get too cozy. Your sister-in-law's still glaring from her spot in the shade, probably plotting to guilt trip you into babysitting later. Speaking of babysitting, the cubs are now a full-blown circus, chasing each other's tails and tumbling over like furry bowling. One, a scrappy little guy with a tuft of mane starting to sprout, decides your tail's the ultimate prize and pounces, sinking his needle-sharp teeth into it. You growl, a low rumble that's half knock it off in half. I'm too tired for this, and swat him away, sending him rolling with a squeak that melt a human's heart. Cubs are cute, but they're also tiny terrorists. 50% don't survive past age 2, thanks to starvation, rival males, or hyenas who see them as snacks. You've lost cubs before, and it's a gut punch, like watching your dreams get trampled by a buffalo. These 5 are about a year old enough to be a pain, but not old enough to hunt, so they're your pride's future and its biggest liability. You nudge the scrappy cub back to his mom, your lead lioness, who's watching the chaos with the calm of a general before a battle. She's the real boss here, the one who organizes hunts and keeps the cubs in line. You're the king, but prides are matriarchal, and she's the CEO, running the show while you play security guard and occasional sperm donor. You've been with her for 2 years since you and your brother ousted the last male, a scarred old brute who didn't go quietly. Male lions hold power for 2 to 4 years before a younger, hungrier guy shows up, and you're already feeling the clock tick. Your brother's lounging nearby, licking a paw, but you catch him eyeing you sometimes, like he's sizing up whether he could take you. Sibling rivalry's no joke out here. If he teams up with a rival, you're toast and your cubs are history. Rival males kill cubs to bring females back into heat, a cold-blooded strategy that's kept lion genes sharp for millennia. You stretch out, your claws flexing like retractable knives, and the lead lioness comes over, rubbing her head against yours. It's a lion hug, a moment of connection that says, we're in this mess together. You purr, a deep rumble that vibrates your chest, and she purrs back, sounding like a motorcycle idling in a garage. Lions are social cats, the only ones who live in groups, and these moments, grooming, purring, just chilling, are what hold the pride together. You've got to keep the peace, because a fractured pride is a dead pride. Last year, you saw a rival pride splinter after their male got cocky and picked a fight with an elephant. Spoiler, the elephant won, and the pride scattered, easy pickings for a hyena. You're not making that mistake, but it's a tightrope walk. Too soft, and the pride walks over you. Too harsh, and they turn on you. The cubs are now trying to climb your back, treating you like a furry jungle gym. And you let them, mostly because you're too full to care. One slips off, landing with a thud and a yowl, and his sister pounces, sparking another round of play fighting. Watching them, you feel a flicker of pride, but also dread. Keeping them alive means constant vigilance. You've got to protect them from everything. Hyenas, leopards, even humans, whose farms are creeping closer every year. Lion populations have crashed 40% in 20 years, down to maybe 20,000 across Africa, and habitat loss is a bigger threat than any rival. Poachers are out there too, with rifles that can drop you from a kilometer away. And every year, They kill thousands for trophies or to protect livestock. You don't know stats, but you feel the pressure, like the savanna's shrinking under your paws. The sun's dipping now, painting the sky orange, and the heat's easing, though it's still warm enough to make you pant like a marathon runner. You're about to doze off when the lead lioness stands, her ears twitching like she's caught a bad signal. You follow her gaze, and there, on the horizon, is a speck. A lone male lion, his mane dark and full, sniffing around your territory like he owns it. Your hackles rise, your tail flicks, and a growl builds in your chest. This guy's trouble, and you know it. He's young, maybe 3 years old, and he's got that hungry look. The kind that says he's ready to fight for your crown. Male lions often team up to take over prides, and if he's got a buddy hiding in the grass, you're in for a brawl that'll make your buffalo tussle look like a pillow fight. You get up, your belly still heavy from the zebra, and the pride stirs, sensing the tension. The lionesses growl low, the cubs huddle closer, and your brother's on his feet, his eyes flicking between you and the intruder. You roar, a bone-rattling blast that echoes across the savanna, telling this punk to back off or bring it. It's not just bravado. Your roar carries 5 miles, a 114 decibel warning that's been scaring rivals since your ancestors ruled this land. He pauses, his head low, and for a second, you think he'll slink away. But then he roars back, a deep, defiant bellow that says, "Game on!" The savanna's watching now. The birds gone quiet, the grass still. You're the king, but every king's got an expiration date, and this guy's betting today's yours. You start toward him, your paws heavy, your heart pounding like a war drum. The lionesses flank you, not to fight, they'll back you up. But this is your battle. Your brother's hanging back, and you can't tell if he's got your back, or if he's waiting to see if you fall. The savanna's no place for trust falls. Loyalty's only as strong as the last meal. You're 50 meters from the intruder now, close enough to see his scars, his muscles rippling under his tawny hide. He's big, maybe your size, and his mane's thicker. A sign he's in his prime. You fought before. Your flank's got a scar from a rival who didn't know when to quit. But this feels different. This guy's got nothing to lose, and you've got everything. Your pride, your cubs, your life. The savanna's holding its breath, the air heavy with the promise of blood. You're a lion, king of this dusty, thorn-strewn kingdom, and you're staring down a rival male who's got the nerve to challenge your throat. He's 50 meters away, his dark mane rippling in the evening breeze, his eyes locked on you like you're the only thing standing between him and a corner office in the pride. Your heart's pounding, a war drum in your chest, and your 400-kilogram frame feels both invincible and terrifyingly mortal. The sun's dipping, painting the grass gold, but there's no time for postcards. This is a fight that could end your reign, your cubs' lives, and maybe your heartbeat. Your lionesses are behind you, growling low, their tails flicking like they're ready to jump in. But this is your battle. Your brother's hanging back, his eyes shifty, and you're not sure if he's got your back, or if he's waiting to pick up the crown when you fall. Welcome to the savanna's version of a corporate takeover, except the severance package is a shallow grave. You take a step forward, your paws sinking into the dirt, your 10-centimeter claws flexing like switchblades. Male lions fight to the death sometimes, and you've got scars to prove it. A jagged one on your flank from a brawl 2 years ago that left you limping for a month. This guy's young, maybe 3 years old in his prime, with a mane that screams, "I'm here to steal your job." You roar, a gut-shaking blast that hits 114 decibels and rolls across the savanna like thunder, telling him to back off or bring it. He roars back, his bellow deep and defiant, and you feel it in your bones, a challenge that says he's not here for a friendly chat. Lions like him often team up to take over prides, and you scan the grass for a second shadow, praying he's alone. If he's got a wingman, you're in deep trouble, like walking into a bar, fight with 2 guys holding pool cue. He starts circling, his head low, his muscles rippling under his tawny hide. You mirror him, keeping your distance, your tail lashing like a whip. The lionesses are tense, their growls a low hum, and the cubs are silent for once, huddled behind their mom. You're not just fighting for you. This is for them, for the 5 scrappy cubs who might not see tomorrow if you lose. Rival males kill cubs to bring females back into heat, a brutal trick that's kept lion genes sharp for millennia. You've seen it happen, watched a pride fall apart when a new king rolled in, and you're not letting that be your legacy. You growl, a sound that's half threat, half prayer, and charge, your paws pounding the earth like a runaway train. The impact's a blur of fur and fangs. You slam into him, claws raking his shoulder, and he snaps at your neck, his teeth grazing your mane. It's like an MA with no ref, no rules, and a crowd of hyenas probably taking bets in the bush. You twist, sinking your canines into his flank, tasting blood. But he's fast, spinning to claw your side. Pain flares hot and sharp, but you're too pumped on adrenaline to care. You're both roaring now, a duet of rage that shakes the savannah. And you feel the ground shake as you grapple, rolling in the dust. He's strong, but you're heavier, and you use your bulk to pin him, your jaws aiming for his throat. For a second, you think you've got him, then he bucks, throwing you off, and you hit the dirt, hard, gasping like you just ran a 5K with a buffalo on your back. You're up in a flash, blood dripping from a gash on your shoulder, but he's not looking so hot either, limping from your bite. Your brother finally moves, growling, but not jumping in, like he's still deciding whose side he's on. Traitor, darts. The rival lunges again, but he's slower now, and you dodge, swiping his face with a paw that lands like a sledgehammer. He stumbles, and you seize the moment, slamming him down, your teeth at his neck. You could kill him, end it right here, but something, maybe instinct, maybe mercy, makes you hesitate. You roar instead a blast that says, "Get out or die," and he scrambles up, tail low, and bolts, disappearing into the grass. The savannah exhales, birds chirping again, and you stand there, panting, bleeding, but still king. The lionesses rush over, rubbing against you, their purrs vibrating like a motorcycle gang revving up. It's their way of saying, "Nice job, champ, but you're too sore to bask in it." Your shoulders throbbing, the gash deep enough to worry about infection. No antibiotics out here, just your immune system and a prayer. Lions face wounds like this all the time, but a bad one can turn septic, and you've seen strong males go down from a scratch, no bigger than a thorn. You limp back to the acacia tree, the cubs swarming you, nipping your legs like they're celebrating a Super Bowl win. You growl, half-hearted, and flop down, your side heaving. The lead lioness licks your wound, her sandpaper tongue stinging like a shot of whiskey, but it's better than nothing. Grooming's a lifeline, keeping infections at bay and reminding you you're not in this alone. The sky's purple now, the sun gone, and the savannah's cooling, though it's still warm enough to make you pant like a dog in a hot car. You need to patrol again because that rival might come back with a buddy, and you're not taking chances. You haul yourself up, every muscle screaming, and start walking, your paws leaving bloody prints in the dirt. The pride stays put, the cubs curling up with their moms, but the lead lioness gives you a look that says, "Don't die up." You nod, or as close as a lion gets to nodding, and head into the twilight, your ears twitching for trouble. Evening patrols are your job, keeping the pride's 100 square mile turf safe from poachers, hyenas, or any punk who thinks you're too beat up to fight. Lion populations are down to 20,000, 40,000, a 40% drop in 20 years, and every patrol's a middle finger to the humans carving up your home for farms and roads. You mark a bush with a spray of urine, the scent sharp as a brewery spill, and roar, your bellow carrying 5 miles to remind everyone who's boss. The stars are out now, a million pinpricks in a velvet sky, and your night vision, 6 times sharper than a human's, kicks in, turning the world into shades of gray. You spot a hyena skulking nearby, its eyes glinting like cheap jewelry, and growl, sending it scampering. Hyenas are cowards alone, but in a pack, they're trouble. And you're not in the mood for round 2. You keep moving, passing a termite mound that looks like a sci-fi prop, and hear an elephant trumpeting in the distance, a reminder that you're not the only heavyweight out here. Elephants can crush you with one step, and you've seen what happens when a lion gets cocky. Hint, it's not pretty. You're halfway through your patrol when you smell it. Smoke. Not the natural kind from a lightning fire, but the acrid stink of a human campfire. Poachers, maybe, or herders guarding their cows. Either way, it's bad news. Humans are the real apex predators now, with rifles that can drop you from a kilometer, and traps that'll snap your leg like a twig. Every year, thousands of lions die from poaching or retaliation for eating livestock, and you've seen prides vanish when their turf gets turned into a ranch. You crouch, your belly low, and skirt the scent, your heart racing. You're the king, but against a gun, you're just a target. You mark another tree, your roar a little quieter this time, and head back toward the pride, the night pressing in like a heavy blanket. You reach the acacia tree, and the pride's awake, the cubs batting at each other, while the lioness is groomed. Your brother's back under the tree, licking a paw like nothing happened, but you're not buying his innocent act. You settle next to the lead lioness, her warmth a comfort, and the cubs pile on, one chewing your ear like it's a dog toy. You're too tired to swat them off, so you let them play. Their tiny growls, a reminder of why you fought today. The Savanna's a brutal boss, but you're still clocked in, ready for whatever it throws next. You close your eyes, the stars above burning bright, and drift toward sleep, knowing the night's not done with you yet. The Savanna's gone quiet, the kind of hush that feels like the world's holding its breath. You're a lion, king of this sun-baked, thorn-choked kingdom, and you're back under the acacia tree, your 400-kilogram frame aching from a day that's thrown everything at you. Zebra hunts, rival showdowns, and a patrol that had you. Zebra hunts, rival showdowns, and a patrol that had you dodging human smoke like a spy in a bad... The stars are out, a million tiny fires in a velvet sky, and the air's cooled to a bearable warmth, though your mane's still a sweaty mop clinging to your neck. Your pride sprawled around you, the three lionesses curled up like furry commas, their breath slow and steady. The 5 cubs are piled in a heap, one twitching like he's dreaming of chasing his own tail, while your brother's off to the side, licking a paw and pretending he didn't just sit out your brawl with that punk rival. You're exhausted, your shoulder throbbing from the gash he left, but sleep's calling, and for once, you might actually answer. Just don't expect a cozy bed or a white noise app. This is the Savanna, and even your dreams come with claws. You settle down, your bulk sinking into the dirt, which is somehow both hard as a rock and prickly with grass that's got no business being this sharp. No Tempur-Pedic mattress, no silk sheets, just a patch of earth that smells like dust, blood, and the faint whiff of your own urine from marking the tree early. You're panting, your tongue a dry slab, because lions don't sweat much. They pant to cool off, which is about as useful as fanning a forest fire with a napkin. Your night vision, 6 times sharper than a human's, picks out every detail. The glint of a beetle scuttling nearby, the flicker of a lioness's ear, the distant silhouette of an antelope that's smart enough to steer clear. Lions hunt at night sometimes, using that vision to stalk prey in the dark, but you're too beat for another chase. Your stomach's still full from the zebra, a 15-kilo feast that's keeping you from turning into a hangry house cat. But you know tomorrow's not guaranteed? Lions can go days without eating, and you've had weeks where you're lucky to snag a warthog that tastes like regret. The lead lioness shifts, her head resting against your flank, her purr a low rumble that vibrates through you like a bass line at a concert. It's comfort, pure and simple, a reminder that you're not just a king. You're part of this pride, this family that's got your back, even if your brother's loyalty's as shaky as a bad Wi-Fi signal. You purr back, a deep hum that says, "We're good," and she nuzzles closer, her fur warm against yours. Lions are the only social cats, living in prides of 5 to 20, and these moments, purring, grooming, just existing together, are what keep you tight. You've seen lone males kicked out of their prides, wandering the Savanna like ghosts, and it's a fate worse than death. They don't last long, picked off by hyenas or starvation, because out here, solo's just another word for screw. The cubs are stirring now, one crawling over to wedge himself between you and the lioness, his tiny body a warm, wriggling wedge. He's the scrappy one, the one who bit your tail earlier, and he's already got a tuft of mane that says he'll be trouble someday. You nudge him gently, your nose brushing his fur, and he yawns, showing needle-sharp teeth that'll grow into 3-inch canines if he makes it. That's a big if 50% of cubs die before they're 2, from hunger, rivals, or just the Savanna's endless gauntlet. You've lost cubs before, felt the hollow ache of watching a tiny life slip away, and it's why you fought that rival today. Those 5 cubs are your legacy, your reason to keep hauling your battered hide out of the dirt every morning. You growl softly, a sound that's half lullaby, half promise, and the cub settles, his breathing slowing as he drifts off. Sleep's tugging at you, but it's not the deep drooling kind humans get with their memory foam and blackout curtains. Lions sleep in bursts, up to 20 hours a day, but it's fitful, broken by every rustle, every cackle, every snap of a twig. You're half dozing, half guarding, your ears twitching like radar dishes for anything that smells like trouble. Hyenas are out there, their hoops floating on the breeze like a bad comedy club, and you know they're sniffing around the zebra scraps you left behind. Let them have it. You're not wasting energy on scavengers when you've got bigger fights to win. Leopards are a threat too, sneaky cats who'd snatch a cub if you blink. And humans are never far, their campfires glowing like warning lights on the horizon. Poaching's cut lion numbers to 20,000, 40% drop in 20 years, and every night's a roll of the dice against a bullet or a trap. You shift, trying to ease the ache in your shoulder, but the gash is hot, probably infected, and you're not fooling yourself. Wounds like this can kill. No vet's coming with a first aid kit, just your body's defenses and the lioness tongue, which she's still using to clean the cut like it's her day job. You lick her ear in thanks, tasting dust and fur, and she grumbles, a sound that's half. You're welcome to half, don't push it. The pride's your lifeline, not just for fights or hunts, but for moments like this, when you're all just a pile of fur under the stars, holding on to each other in a world that's trying to tear you apart. You've seen prides collapse, torn by infighting or human fences, and you're not letting that happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not while you've got a roar left in you. The night's deep now, the savanna a symphony of chirps, rustles, and distant trumpets from elephants who don't care about your crown. You're drifting, your eyes half closed, but a cub's paw smacks your nose, yanking you back. It's the scrappy one again, sprawled across your chest like he owns you, and you let him stay, too tired to argue. The other cubs are tangled with the lionesses, one snoring like a tiny buzzsaw, and even your brother's crept closer, his bulk a dark shape in the starlight. You're not sure you trust him. Siblings turn on each other out here, and you've seen brothers become enemies over a pride. But for now, he's family, and that's enough. You purr again, a low rumble that spreads through the pride, and they answer, a chorus that says, we're still here. You're almost asleep when you hear it, a hyena's cackle, closer than before, sharp and mocking. Your eyes snap open, your body tense, but the sound fades, probably just a scavenger testing your patience. You relax, but not fully, because sleep's a luxury you can't afford to drown in. Lions are apex predators, shaping the savanna by keeping herbivores in check, but you're not invincible. Climate change is drying up rivers, pushing prey away, and human farms are swallowing your turf. You don't know the stats. 20,000 lions left, maybe less, with thousands killed yearly by poachers, but you feel the squeeze, the way the savanna's tightening like a noose. Every day's a fight, not just against rivals or hunger, but against a world that's forgetting how to make room for kings. You close your eyes again, the cub's weight anchoring you, and let yourself drift. You dream in flashes, zebras running, your cubs growing, the savanna stretching wide and free. It's a good dream, but you know it's fragile, like a bubble in a dust storm. You've survived today, kept your pride safe, kept your crown. Tomorrow's another battle, another hunt, another patrol, but you're ready. You're a lion, built from claws and courage, with a roar that shakes the stars. Humans have their apps, their pizza, their air-conditioned lives. But you've got something they'll never touch, a heart forged in the savanna's fire, a family that fights as one, a kingdom carved in blood and dust. The night wraps around you, the pride's breath's a steady rhythm, and you sleep not as a king, but as a survivor, ready to rise and roar again. This is your life, your savanna, your story, and it's one hell of a tale. The Lion, a comprehensive study of Panthera leo. Introduction. The lion, Panthera leo, often referred to as the king of the jungle, is one of the most iconic and charismatic megafauna on Earth. As a member of the family Felidae and the genus Panthera, the lion is an apex predator, renowned for its strength, social behavior, and cultural significance across human history. This article provides a detailed examination of the lion, exploring its evolutionary history, notable subspecies, physical and behavioral characteristics, ecological role, and unique traits that distinguish it from other big cats. With a focus on scientific rigor, this study aims to elucidate the biological and ecological significance of lions, while highlighting their conservation challenges and cultural importance. Evolutionary history, origins, and fossil record. The evolutionary lineage of the lion can be traced back to the Miocene epoch, approximately 10-12 million years ago, when early felids began to diverge from other carnivores. The genus Panthera, which includes lions, tigers, Panthera tigris, leopards, Panthera pardus, jaguars, Panthera onca, and snow leopards, Panthera unciae, emerged around 6 million years ago. Fossil evidence suggests that lion-like felids first appeared in East Africa during the late Pliocene, around 3.5 million years ago. These early ancestors, often classified under the extinct species Panthera leo fossilis, were significantly larger than modern lions and roamed across Africa, Europe, and Asia. By the Pleistocene epoch, 2.5 million to 11,700 years ago, lions had diversified and spread across multiple continents. Fossil records from Europe indicate the presence of the cave lion, Panthera leo spelaea, a close relative of modern lions that inhabited Europe and northern Asia. Similarly, the American lion, Panthera leo atrox, roamed North America until its extinction around 11,000 years ago. These extinct subspecies were adapted to a variety of environments, from cold steppes to temperate forests, showcasing the adaptability of the lion lineage. Genetic divergence and modern lions. Modern lions, Panthera leo, diverged into their current form approximately 1.2 million years ago, based on genetic studies. Mitochondrial DNA analyses indicate that lions split into two major clades: the sub-Saharan African populations and the North African Asian populations. This divergence is attributed to geographic isolation caused by climatic changes and habitat fragmentation during the Pleistocene. Today, lions are primarily found in sub-Saharan Africa, with a small isolated population in India's Gir forest, known as the Asiatic lion, Panthera leo persica. Notable subspecies: African lion, Panthera leo. The African lion is the most widespread subspecies, inhabiting savannas, grasslands, and woodlands across sub-Saharan Africa. Genetic studies have further divided African lions into regional populations, including the West African lion, East African lion, and Southern African lion. These populations exhibit minor morphological differences, such as mane size and coloration, influenced by environmental factors. For instance, lions in colder regions, like South Africa's Kalahari Desert, often have fuller manes compared to their counterparts in hotter climates. Asiatic lion, Panthera leo persica. The Asiatic lion, once widespread across the Middle East, Persia, and northern India, is now restricted to the Gir Forest National Park in Gujarat, India. This critically endangered subspecies differs from its African counterpart in several ways. Asiatic lions are slightly smaller, with males having shorter, sparser manes that often expose the ears. Their social structure also tends to be less cohesive, with smaller prides and more solitary males. Conservation efforts have increased the Asiatic lion population from fewer than 50 individuals in the early 20th century to approximately 600 today, though habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict remain significant threats. Extinct subspecies. Several lion subspecies have gone extinct in historical times. The Barbary lion, Panthera leo, native to North Africa, was renowned for its massive size and dark, thick mane. It was hunted to extinction by the early 20th century, with the last known individual killed in Morocco in 1922. Similarly, the Cape lion, a population from South Africa's Cape region, disappeared in the 19th century due to habitat destruction and hunting. These extinctions highlight the vulnerability of lion populations to human activities. Physical characteristics, morphology, and sexual dimorphism. Lions are the second largest living felids, surpassed only by the tiger. Adult male lions typically weigh between 150, 250 kg, 330, 550 pounds, while females are smaller, averaging 120, 180 kg, 265, 400 pounds. Body length ranges from 1.7 to 2.5 meters, 5.6 to 8.2 feet, for males and 1.4 to 1.9 meters, 4.6 to 6.2 feet, for females, excluding the tail, which adds an additional 0.9, 1.1 meters, 3.6 feet. One of the lion's most striking features is its sexual dimorphism, most notably the male's mane. The mane, which varies in color from blonde to black, serves multiple purposes. It signals male fitness, protects the neck during fights, and may intimidate rivals. The size and darkness of the mane are influenced by genetics, age, and environmental factors, with darker manes often associated with higher testosterone levels and better health. Females lack manes and are more streamlined, adapted for hunting and nurturing cubs. Anatomy and adaptations. Lions possess powerful jaws with a bite force of approximately 650 psi, capable of crushing bones. Their retractable claws, sharp and curved, are ideal for grasping prey. The lion's muscular build, particularly its strong forelimbs, enables it to tackle large prey, such as buffalo and giraffe. Their eyesight is exceptional, with a visual acuity 6 times better than that of humans in low light conditions, aiding nocturnal hunting. Behavioral characteristics. Social structure. Lions are unique among felids for their highly social behavior. They live in prides, typically consisting of 30 individuals, including related females, their cubs, and a coalition of 4 males. Pride structure is matriarchal, with females forming the core and remaining in the pride for life, while males are often nomadic before joining or forming coalitions to take over a pride. Pride dynamics are complex, with cooperative hunting, communal cub rearing, and territorial defense being key features. Male coalitions, often composed of brothers or cousins, work together to defend a pride from rival male. When a new coalition takes over a pride, infanticide is common, as incoming males kill cubs sired by their predecessors to bring females back into estrus. This behavior, while brutal, ensures the genetic legacy of the new males. Hunting and diet. Lions are apex predators with a diet primarily consisting of large ungulates, such as zebra, wildebeest, and buffalo. They are opportunistic carnivores, occasionally preying on smaller animals or scavenging carrion. Hunting is predominantly a female task, with lionesses working cooperatively to stalk and ambush prey. A typical hunt involves a combination of stealth, teamwork, and bursts of speed up to 80 kilometers or 50 mph over short distances. Success rates vary, with studies estimating that only 20-30% of hunts result in a kill. Lions are capable of consuming up to 15% of their body weight in a single meal, though they may go days without eating. Males typically feed first at a kill, followed by females and cubs, reflecting the pride's hierarchical structure. Communication. Lions communicate through a variety of vocalizations, body postures, and scent marking. The most iconic is the roar, which can be heard up to 8 kilometers, 5 miles away. Roaring serves to advertise territory, communicate with pride members, and deter rivals. Other vocalizations include grunts, moans, and growls, each conveying specific information about social status or intent. Scent marking through urine and gland secretions is used to delineate territories, which can span 2,400 kilometers, depending on prey availability. Physical displays, such as head rubbing and tail flicking, reinforce social bonds within the pride. Ecological role. As apex predators, lions play a critical role in maintaining ecosystem balance. By preying on herbivores, they regulate prey populations, preventing overgrazing and promoting vegetation diversity. Lions also influence the behavior of prey species, creating a landscape of fear that alters grazing patterns and reduces pressure on certain habitats. Lions compete with other predators, such as hyenas, leopards, and cheetahs, for food and territory. These interactions can lead to kleptoparasitism, where lions steal kills from other predators, or vice versa. Despite their dominance, lions are vulnerable to ecological disruptions, such as habitat loss and prey depletion, which can destabilize their populations. Unique traits, mane variation and function. The lion's mane is a unique trait among felids, with significant variation across populations. In addition to its protective and signaling functions, the mane may play a role in thermoregulation. Studies suggest that darker manes absorb more heat, potentially benefiting lions in cooler climates, but posing a disadvantage in hotter regions. Social hunting strategies. Unlike solitary felids, lions employ cooperative hunting strategies that increase their efficiency against large or fast prey. Lionesses often fan out to encircle prey, with some individuals driving the target toward others lying in ambush. This teamwork allows lions to tackle animals much larger than themselves, a feat unmatched by other big cats. Cultural symbolism. Lions hold a prominent place in human culture, symbolizing strength, courage, and royalty. From ancient Egyptian art to modern national emblems, lions have been revered across civilization. Their cultural significance underscores their charisma and the urgency of their conservation. Conservation status and challenges. Population decline. Lion populations have declined dramatically over the past century. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, UCN, classifies the lion as vulnerable, with an estimated 39,000 individuals remaining in the wild. African lion populations have decreased by approximately 43% since the 1990s, primarily due to habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching. The Asiatic lion, while recovering, remains endangered due to its limited range and genetic bottleneck. Threats. Habitat fragmentation, driven by agricultural expansion and urbanization, is a primary threat to lions. As human populations encroach on lion habitats, conflicts arise, often resulting in retaliatory killings by farmers protecting livestock. Poaching for lion parts, particularly bones used in traditional medicine, has also increased, especially in regions where tiger bones are scarce. Climate change poses an additional threat, altering prey distribution and reducing water availability in savanna ecosystems. Disease, such as canine distemper and bovine tuberculosis, can decimate lion populations, particularly in small, isolated prides. Conservation efforts. Conservation initiatives include protected areas, such as national parks and reserves, which provide safe habitats for lions. Community-based programs, such as those in Kenya's Masai Mara, compensate farmers for livestock losses, reducing human-lion conflict. Reintroduction and translocation efforts, like those for the Asiatic lion, aim to expand their range, though challenges remain due to habitat limitations and genetic diversity concerns. Conclusion. The lion, Panthera leo, is a remarkable species, distinguished by its evolutionary history, social complexity, and ecological significance. From its origins in the Pliocene to its current status as a vulnerable species, the lion has adapted to diverse environments while maintaining its role as an apex predator. Its unique traits, such as the male's mane and cooperative hunting strategies, set it apart from other felids, while its cultural symbolism underscores its universal appeal. However, the lion faces significant threats from habitat loss, human conflict, and climate change, necessitating urgent conservation action. By understanding and protecting this iconic species, we can ensure that the king of the jungle continues to roam the wild for generations to come.